We're not even going to do an intro because we are late, guys. So first I would like to say, shut up, Craig. Don't be rushing us. You know what I'm saying? We're here and you guys are here. Oh,
Craig, you know what?
Let me stop being outrageous here. Welcome,
Everybody.
So glad you guys are here. What do you want to start with today? Because there's so much that is going on.
What a week. I feel like I say that every week.
It's been a long week.
Like every week just gets more and more interesting than the last week. So I did hear the stuff about Tekashi 69, but we're gonna get to that second. I actually wanted to talk about Swarm because here's the funny thing. Everybody was talking about it. I think it was Monday. I don't remember what day it was.
What made y'all watch it?
Okay, so I watched it because I heard I saw all the stuff on Twitter. Okay. Everybody was talking about, I was like, what are they talking about? And I was like, and I love Chloe. So I was I was like, oh, Chloe's in that joint? Because I had seen, Hey, Maud.
Afro.
I had seen some.
What'd she say?
Trailers.
You don't like my little dingleberry?
You didn't like the dingleberry? Oh, we're bringing that back, man.
If he gets cut, I'll bring it back. What made you watch Swim? We were talking to Maud about that. She was asking about that. I just wanted to know, what, because I heard people talking about it, but I looked at the description and I was like, I ain't watching that. But then I kept hearing people talk about it, and then I watched the first episode before I realized what it was about.
I definitely saw here's the thing. I saw the trailers, but I did not expect it to be that good. I didn't think it was going to deliver that.
I don't think it was bad.
I like the cinematic, you could tell it's dark. It's very good.
It Donald Glover is the EP on there. I was watching the whole time thinking, I was not thinking because I was watching. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? Oh my God, what did she do? She didn't kill them? Oh my God, she killed her too? That's how I was in my room by myself. So
I knew it was going to be a little bit
I was Googling stuff.
Racy, but I didn't know that some of those things were actual events.
I'm the type of person that whenever I read a book or watching a movie and I get a question in my head, I go ahead and I Google. So first, I wasn't in line with the fact that it was after the Beehive, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so then I was like, duh, you know what I mean? But when I was Googling it, I was like, is this what part is, because he puts on there, this is not a work of fiction. But I think the murders are real, but if they weren't committed by a person who was a crazy serial fan, you know what I'm saying? Serial killer fan. But those were real Beehive tweets. Yeah. I remember seeing some of those because I remember when they were talking about the bite on the face.
Well, I'm enjoying it so far. So just to give some stats, Donald Glover is the creator, right? It says created by Donald Glover. You got a couple of people who I recognize their names. Janine Neighbors, I've seen her name somewhere before. I think she's a Stephen Glover, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's Donald Glover's relative or something. But I've definitely heard of Janine Neighbors before. And Malia Obama.
Malia Obama was an intern writer on that show. I was like, oh, I found that out while I was watching the show. I was seeing those information things come out.
That's very cool because I saw a snapshot, some Instagram stuff or whatever of Chloe Bailey and Malia, and I didn't realize that they had worked so closely together. But that's very cool. I'm enjoying it so far. I think it's a fresh take because every now and then you get.
So y'all not finished watching it?
Oh
no, let's say so y'all not finished watching the show.
No. We got maybe 3 episodes in.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna ruin it for everybody who hasn't watched it yet, but she's wild. And the actor, the actress's name is Dominique Fishback.
Yes, and so she's
talented.
She played in something else too, but she's a bomb actress. And I just saw a clip of her and Chloe. I can't remember where I saw the clip from. I know it was on Instagram, but she was basically talking about how she passed over on the Marissa role. That was the role that she was offered first. Oh. And she wanted to be outside of the box. And so she remembered something that Taraji P. Henson said about Cookie. That was what the clip was about. And how she was scared of the role or whatever. And when I, when I tell you she did that. She really played that character all the way for me, especially when you see how she really presents herself.
Okay.
In real life, like in the interview that she was having, when you see how she presents herself, you just think about how she played the hell out of that character.
She played in the movie The Hate You Give. I heard a
she
lot
did?
about that. Yeah.
What was her character in The Hate
Kenya,
You?
I never saw the movie. Kenya. Okay, so please.
Did you read the book?
I didn't read it. Oh, everyone.
Do y'all hear this shit? Do y'all hear this shit?
Listen.
You have to.
Please do not revoke my black card because
we're on the verge, guys. We're on the verge.
I did not see The Hate You Give.
So
I'm not.
All right, so we about to move right on past that. But you like the show.
I love the series. I feel like I can't wait to see what's happening next. And I also like that they're like addressing this sort of topic because I feel like, it kind of dwindles into the space of cancel culture, but it's not that. It's just like we're kind of like looking back on what is happening on social media and what those things have. Sometimes those things have real consequences.
Okay, yes. And they use some real beehive tweets. And if you look at how like the Barbs do, like they've been known to, find people's addresses, threaten people and stuff like that. Like, so this was not far off. I like when I watch a show and they incorporate some real life stuff, whatever, because some people are like, seriously, like you ever been to a concert? Like I remember like going to concerts like growing up, and I've never been one to be like, hey Gwendolyn. I've never been one to be like rushing the stage, or when you see a celebrity like, oh my God, is screaming like Ma said, not excited about the penis situation. And she said, fast forward on the
Oh wait, she gotta go right
Ma
here.
Is why do I keep doing that? Because I keep thinking it's a touch screen.
I can't wait until Apple comes out with a touch screen.
Apple doesn't have a touch screen. See, clearly I don't have a MacBook, but Apple why is it not touch screen? My HP is touch screen.
Because we have iPads. I feel like it's a different technology. I mean, you would think they would have gotten it together by now with all of the technology that they're known to be.
I'm gonna upgrade to Apple a Mac computer when they come out with a touch screen, because my HP I could touch the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I got that on my Dell.
But
I know it's weird because
is your monitor touch screen?
No. So if they don't make touch screen, like
what?
I know, as far as I know, because I would have got one.
I didn't know that, guys, because all I have is the iPhone and the iPad, but
for Mac products and an Apple Watch.
Yeah. An Apple Watch, but the computer
you would think,
I don't have
though, because they have that technology, because they were at the forefront of the smartphone.
Right, that's why I'm shocked right now. This is
like, why haven't they done that yet when everybody else has done it?
I'm scoffing inside.
It's
okay?
weird.
I'm just judging you inside. I'm really judging you inside. Like, no,
no, not me. I didn't do it. I would buy one when they make it.
No, but okay. So, like, in talking about that show, whatever. Like, I think that it's real. It's real. Not real situations, but like. People like going to concerts. Let's back to that. Going to concerts, so people used to like rush the stage and fall out from seeing celebrities. Yes. Like, I never understood that, because I've met celebrities before, and I mean, I was excited, but I never felt like doing nothing crazy.
Did you see that clip of what's his name, Michael B. Jordan, talking a fan down like, I'm just a person. Mm-hmm. Like, it was some dude that was standing outside of like one of his, I don't know. I mean, Michael B. Jordan is not Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. Like, I love his work and all that stuff, but like,
I mean, even if I saw Michael Jackson, I wouldn't be like, I would just be like, oh my God, it's Michael Jackson.
I don't think I would do that. If it was Michael Jackson, before he died,
I might be animated with you, but I wouldn't run up to him and be like,
I definitely wouldn't.
Like, I wouldn't want to touch his sweat.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
I don't want his sweaty towel.
There are certain people who I feel like it would take me to be like,
but I would take Method Man sweaty towel.
Listen to you.
But that's not falling all over him. Like, if he threw it in my hand, actually happened to catch it and whatever. Mind your business. Is like catching the bouquet. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see that clip of him at the? I think it was either at the Golden Globes or the Oscars, where he and Damone Idris had like the guy who's in Swarm.
Which one is he?
The one that was.
Who the fuck is that?
Doing workouts in the beginning. The boyfriend.
Oh.
Okay, but I don't know who's chick.
I didn't know. I didn't know his name.
Well, so anyway, they had a little back and forth. It was cute. They was like, "Oh yeah, I've heard I'm the most sexy man alive. They calling me a snack." And Method Man was like, "I've been hearing Zaddy." And when he said it, the women in the crowd was like,
I mean, because okay, I'll say this. You know, everybody got their fans, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was just looking at, when that shit happened, I was just like, okay, dude isn't my type. So I wasn't like, but if Method Man was standing there doing it, I would just stand there and watch.
So that's funny, because we were in front of Method Man before. I'm not even going to say what happened. Anyway, moving right along. I am laughing because, you know, the culture of Swarm, that's what we were talking about. And the idea that, like, yeah, if I met Michael Jackson, you know, before he died, obviously, or even Whitney Houston, like, I do think that I would be like, oh my God.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, not so much these days.
But are you gonna lace up your boots and go take out anybody? That's
hell no, hell no. But some people out there, like, there's this whole thing
that
happening.
Shit was crazy.
You're probably not following this, but there's this whole thing that's happening right now between Hailey Bieber and it's not even between them. Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez, because Selena Gomez had this years-long relationship with Justin Bieber. And some weird stuff happened, like, over a few months period. And he started dating, I guess they weren't even dating, but Hailey Bieber. Like, he had this years-long relationship with Selena Gomez. And then all of a sudden, like, in the span of a few months after they broke up, he married Hailey Bieber, who is Stephen Baldwin's daughter. Like not the most famous Baldwin. Like, think Alec Baldwin. Like, you know who Alec Baldwin is, right? His brother.
The Baldwin brothers.
Yeah, his brother's daughter. And so, and it has to do with the Kardashians. Anyway, we're not going to go all the way there. But Selena Gomez's fans are so powerful. like they will, I feel like they're like the FBI or something. Like, I would never say anything bad about Selena Gomez because I feel like somebody
gonna find it.
is going to work for somebody who can look you up in a system. And, you know, you could just...
That's wild.
Yeah, so... But that's where we are these days. Like, you mentioned the Barbs. I remember that whole thing happened with her husband. And we actually were going to comment on some of that. And then we realized, like, you know, I said for sure, like, you know, I don't really know if I want this.
We might say.
I don't really know if I want this smoke. Because sometimes it's like... You could just be saying... what you could be reading.
People get mad at your opinions these days, you know what I'm saying?
For sure, and then there's no coming back. And by the time somebody doxes you, whatever that is, like, by the time somebody gives your information and puts it out there, it's too late.
Yeah, because it's not even like, okay, if you find something out about a person and you put it out, okay, that's one thing, but it's not even that. The scary part about that is that it's the people who never say anything that are watching you that see that, and they might be crazy enough, like the girl is sworn to go do something. So it's like that is what the threat of doxing is, because it's like the unseen are the people that you need to be leery of. Like, you don't even know who your enemy is. They know what you look like, but you don't know what they look like. So
new t-shirt.
That's
the
crazy.
Unseen.
But anyway,
unseen.
So I like the show.
I'm afraid of the unseen.
I mean, I'm not going to be afraid of it, but I'm not going to fuck with the unseen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to give them any ammunition. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if they do like that, but I mean, that's what people need to think about when they're showing people's information. It's like when people, they be like, oh, now what you going to do? It's like, well, I'm not going to do anything because, you know, I'm not the person that's crazy enough to come to your house, but there might be somebody that we don't even know that's watching.
That's not even commenting. That's not even engaged. That's just like, oh, I'm going to go do this. Yeah. I just, you know, I love watching ID channel. I was just watching a video or a show about like fallen pop stars. There was this girl that started on YouTube. I cannot remember her name right now, but she was on The Voice. And
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she had like this dark hair. She was like a really cute little singer. And somebody came up to one of her meet and greets and shot her. Like, some guy and the parents, they interviewed the parents, and the parents were like, oh, we didn't even know he was a fan of hers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have no idea who's watching you on YouTube. So that's the whole thing. When people like do that, I'll be like, damn, that's messed up. But, you know, anyway, so moving
right along, because watch Swarm, because
I suggest watching it. Some people are saying they didn't like it, but I feel like they need to just, you know, have an open mind, because it was put together good. It's just the topic is just, I mean, like not the topic, but just the things that are happening like right in your face are just wild. I was talking to myself that whole time. But
oh my gosh, I'm just so okay. Let me just be full disclosure. We're about to move on to the next topic. My sister told me today, or whatever day it was, maybe a couple days ago, like, did you hear what happened with Tekashi 6ix9ine? And it's so funny because
I think it was like the other day.
And I was like, no,
Yesterday?
I didn't. But he, I'm used to him
trolling
and doing these weird things. So I was just like, no, like, what's new with him or whatever? She was like, he got jumped. So, what I recall from the whole situation of him, like, apparently, like, snitching or whatever. And I just remember when he came out of whatever situation he was in, like jail or whatever, and he was being what I would consider reckless, just like out there calling people out, saying all these things. And I remember thinking to myself at the time, like, wow, like he could get killed. This was based off of like other people who had gotten killed, like in the media, like, rappers and stuff that have, and it'll be something like innocent that you would think would be innocent, like, somebody accidentally showed their address or whatever. But people are out here trying to get on people who have money or whatever. Who knows? But this guy was actually, not only did he apparently like snitch on someone, which,
I don't know. That's what I thought he was known as. I don't know a lot about him, but I just saw that and I was like, dang. And they did jump him. I was like, why y'all gotta jump him?
I didn't see it. So I'm about to watch it right now.
Well, we're gonna go. Well, yeah, you can watch that jump.
Wait, it was in a hotel?
It was in a gym.
Oh no! I'm just looking at this picture of him. Oh, poor little Tinky.
Yeah, they did jump him. Like that was kind of messed up. But the dude, he had a dude with him afterwards. I don't know where the dude was when that happened. I guess he was in there going to the bathroom or whatever. But
so, do you know anything about how this started? Oh
no, I mean they did show camera footage of the people coming into the gym, and they basically came in there to do that. Somebody was filming them when they first got in there, I think, but they had it on the camera. Yeah, he was on the thing. Somebody was like, "Oh, look, that's Tekashi 6ix9ine," and they had like pointed to him in the back. And then they showed. I saw a video today where they showed the dudes coming in, but they really did. They did jump him. Like, why y'all jumping Tekashi? One of y'all could have took him out, but I guess it's the life he lives. I don't know a lot about him, so maybe somebody could like fill us in what he did. She said, "Poor guy with his cute outfit."
Oh my gosh, that must be mine.
I was like, "Dang, man." But yeah, so Tekashi. I mean,
listen, I don't know. I hate to see somebody get beat up like that.
Yeah, I was like,
just now, real time, I just watched it, and I hate to see somebody get beat up like that. But I do remember thinking that he was doing a lot, and I was scared for what was
I don't know what he's doing. So now. With that, I remember him being with Nicki Minaj at some point, or like doing stuff. Like
he had a song with her. But thinking what I thought was going to happen to him, I hope that he's okay, and I hope that he now realizes that, like, okay, let me make sure that I'm not putting myself in positions. I don't want to blame him for this.
He's just going to make sure he has more security next time.
Listen, guys, people are out here slapping people, jumping people in the gyms. It's time for us to get our head on our shoulders.
Chris Rock got slapped.
I'm just telling you, anything could happen out there. Be safe. And I feel like, listen, I don't know that he didn't deserve, I don't think anybody deserves to get beat like that. That's just sad. But
I'll just say it sucks for him. I don't really know.
Out of there, so good on him.
Know that he did. I don't know what he's been doing lately, but I do remember knowing that he was out here trolling and stuff. So I don't know.
Well, okay, guys, listen. We're about to get into
the gym.
She said, not the bathroom. Snitched on who? That's a really great question. Who did he snitch on?
I don't even know. I just remember that was the word going around about him, and then he got locked up or something, but I don't remember what. I didn't really follow him like that. I just, I don't like to see anybody get beat up, but I mean, he just needs to have, watch his back in the gym. He probably gonna beef up on security. I don't know where they were, but
he was involved in some gang.
She said, "Girl, I walk in Wakanda energy over here. Don't try me." Facts, Mod. The undisputed African queen. Y'all make sure y'all follow my Afro mama. But anyway, what else are we talking about here?
He snitched about gang members.
He snitched about gang members. Yeah, that's kind of wild.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
That's kind of wild. Mm-hmm.
But he was arrested. He was sentenced to 4 years.
But then he got out.
Probation off of
probation.
But it was explicit videos he made with an underage girl. So that was probably like
I do remember all that.
Mm-hmm. Series of violent crimes. I mean, listen, I also don't want to judge anybody, but those tattoos got me a little bit judgy. I ain't gonna lie. When somebody has that many face tattoos.
Well, yeah, when people have face tattoos, it
makes me feel like you just don't have that many fucks to give.
Yeah,
I don't really want to be around.
I was on a cruise one year, and you know how you're on a cruise, you kind of sometimes, depending on where you're going and how big the ship is, you might see certain people more than once.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And it was this couple on there. They were both fit. And like in shape or whatever. So, we saw them, but the thing that stood out about them the most was that the girl's face was tattooed. Like all that was not tattooed is the part that's in the inside where my pinkies are. So you can see her eyes and her eyebrows, you can see her nose, you can see her mouth. But all of this was tattooed. I was like, girl, that's crazy.
And where was she on a cruise?
It was on a cruise.
She was a worker there? Or
no, she was just a person that was on there or whatever.
Listen,
no judgment. Like, where does she work at?
No judgment, because I do like tattoos.
No judgment. No, fuck that. I'm judging. If you go to get all of this tattooed,
yeah.
Okay, so I'll add this.
It's something about a face tattoo.
That's what I'm saying. This is the face. But it wasn't a thing. It was all colored in. Like this was the only part that was out, and it was weird. I was like,
"Yeah, it's not. It's abnormal.
It was normal. I mean, abnormal. Yeah, it was
for sure. Okay, so listen.
Anyway, I had to touch your forehead to make the point.
No, it's okay because it's real. It's like you don't really know what that looks like until you see it.
It was weird. I mean, their bodies were nice because they both worked out. Yeah, Maud, you would not have approved. Yeah. I know Maud would have been like, "Oh my gosh." She'd have been like, sister.
She sounded just like you, Maud.
She'd have been like, listen. Anyway, let me stop messing with Maud. But Maud, you would not have approved because I didn't approve. And I was like, what is she doing? So
that is hilarious.
Maybe she could cover it up with makeup, though. Maybe she could cover it up with makeup, but it was black.
I don't know, but I mean, like, why would you do all that just to cover it up with makeup? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Anyway,
you're right.
All right, so look, we're about to get into this next topic.
What's the next topic?
The next topic is Ready to Love, the Bro Code episode. I am going to go ahead and do something about that over there. It's not like we're going to a commercial.
Okay, so I'm going to recap what happened on the show then.
Yes.
I forgot to bring my book. But so they were at the getaway house. They all ride together. Well, they ride together in groups of different cars, right?
Okay, yeah. And
so,
remind me to go back to that because Tony was...
Okay, so Jeffrey and Morgan ride together. Morgan, looked like she did have a lot on her mind. She kind of looks like, I don't know, she was chewing the shit out the gum. That's all I can remember from that scene. And Jeffrey, talking about, talking to her baby voice or whatever. But they look like they cool and they hang together. But then you go to the car with Tony, Lyndon. I can't remember who else was in that car. Who else was in the car with Tony and Lyndon? Maybe Andre was driving and Anthony was in there. I don't know. But all I know, hey Goody, all I know is that what'd you say, Goody? I'm gonna be in DC in May. Y'all gotta, yes, we have to prep a pull up. Goody is coming to the city. Absolutely. I'm in. Morgan and Jeffrey are birds of a feather, a little touched. That's what Donna D says. So I can't remember who was in the car with Tony, but Tony looked like he was riding with his fist ball up. That's what I feel like. I felt like he was uncomfortable. He had his hands clasped, but I feel like inside he wanted to be like, just how dudes be like, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I was like, he know that and Lyndon gets on his nerves. You know what I mean? But so they get to the house. And they all, no, wait. They don't get to the house. They get to that swamp, the alligator swamp. Then Tommy pulls up with the little boat or whatever for everybody to ride on. Morgan thought her lashes was going to fly off.
Wait, it wasn't Morgan. It was
Mercedes. I keep mixing their names up. Why did I do that? Mercedes was like, she thought her lashes was going to fly off. And then they get to the house. They run all around the house and pick their rooms and stuff like that. And Andre shows up with the leaf in his hair. I thought it was a feather, but I think Kamisha Reviews panel decided to figure out that it was actually an actual leaf.
Oh, I thought it was a feather.
I thought it was a feather too. But then after that, they, they're like chilling around. Tony does challenges Lyndon to a game, a pool game, for where Morgan's gonna sleep.
For Morgan's honor, which I thought was weird.
That was weird.
Okay, wait. Let's jump in right here because we can recap more, but I gotta go back. Tony in that car kind of just summed up who he is in this process from what I've seen, which is like he's very cocky.
It was Mark Anthony and Mercedes in the car with them. Yep.
So he just seems very cocky, which is not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying
what's up, true love for her. Sorry, I didn't want to mess your name up. Hey, Kamisha. Shout out to Kamisha Reviews. If y'all don't watch Kamisha Reviews, she does panels upon panels, but the Ready to Love panels on Saturday. She also does put a ring on it, and then I think on Sunday, is that on Sunday, Kamisha? Sunday maybe Love and Marriage DC. But all of those are over there on Kamisha Reviews panel. So definitely make sure that y'all follow her for that. Anyway.
Yes. All right, shout out to Kamisha.
My bad.
Let me answer that question, Donna, because I have all the answers. Okay, so jokes. So
she does though.
Listen, he looked mad because he was being completely judgmental in that situation. And sometimes when you're that cocky, when you're that cocky, you cannot hide it anymore. And it's like, and you start to say things like, "Of course," right? You know what I'm saying? You start to say things like, you know what I'm saying, condescendingly or whatever. But so, all right, I gotta say this. Something about the way Tony's accent comes out, I don't take it offensively. I think it's hilarious. Like
does matter. That is the thing. Like if it's all in delivery. If you have an accent that is pleasant, you can say certain things. You know what I'm saying? So
his cockiness matches his accent. Mm-hmm, so it's just nothing he says. Like he says shocking things, but then when you hear it in his voice, you're like, well, of course you would say that.
He thinks he's like that.
That's how I felt at the table. We can get to the table later. We can get to the table later. All right. Listen, okay, so that's why his hands were clasped when he always looks mad, because he's better than everyone per himself. Okay, that's why
that man wanted to be riding that car with his fist balled up, just like I said.
He even cracked a smile,
that's how he. But that doesn't mean anything. He still was fuming inside at the fact that he was riding in the car with Lyndon. He can't stand Lyndon. He thinks he's better than Lyndon, and that's the whole reason why he's upset.
Because I'm in his mind, and I know him personally. This is a lie. Tony was like, "Look, I'm Tony's mind."
She prefaced it with "This is a lie."
He's like, "Oh, these niggas."
Oh, he probably was like, "These motherfuckers."
Yeah.
That's what
he's like. I gotta do this again, and I think at the point where we saw him at the house, he's like, in his mind, I'm choosing between these two women. And so let me see what the flavor is that I really want. I think that's where he is with his. Like, okay, and why isn't she looking after me? Why is she, you know what I'm saying? What is she doing?
He thought that he had that shit wrapped up, which means that, I don't know how close they were behind the scenes or whatever, but he thought he had that shit wrapped up, but he slept on Lyndon. But anyway, we'll get to the last part. Let me look at these.
He slept on Lyndon, but also let me look at this clear. I don't really think.
Let's look at this comment really quick.
Okay. I gotta say this thing about Morgan.
It's gonna be funny. Ma says it's funny how y'all Americans can hear different accents among yourselves. Y'all sound the same to me. Are you serious? So you mean to tell me that a person that is from New York sounds like a person who's from Mississippi? You don't get the dialect. So everybody, when you're watching these reality shows, just has the same, like, even accent. Mod. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, I just wanted to read Mod's comment. Donna D says, I'm African American and I couldn't detect Tony's accent either. I'm gonna have to listen for a Friday. Y'all can't hear his accent.
He has an accent.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, he definitely has an accent.
Ma, I'm gonna send you a little video later of this lady talking in different accents, and she's saying like one sentence over and over. Y'all seen that Instagram? This boy be in my DM saying I'm pretty.
Oh yeah,
this girl did a Instagram of saying it from like people who were from New Orleans. She did it different. I'm gonna send it to you, Ma, to see if you get if it all sounds the same to you. But anyway, back to what she was saying.
Yeah, I can tell there's different accents. There's Boston accents. Mm-hmm. There's New York accents. Mm-hmm. There's I can't necessarily tell the difference between
there's a DC accent.
New York and New Jersey. There's a DC accent. There's a Southern accent, but there's different Southern accents. Mm-hmm. There's a Baltimore versus DC mm-hmm, accent. Mm-hmm. We're seeing that play out on Love and Marriage, DC. And then there's a lot of different accents down the East Coast for sure. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily feel like there's a California accent.
Hey, confessions!
There's definitely a Texas accent, mm-hmm. very distinct from other Southern accents.
Mm-hmm, I agree with that.
There's a California accent depending on where you're from. Like if you're from like South Central LA or, you know, like mm-hmm. that area, like, you know, you think Snoop Dogg, you think Ice Cube, mm-hmm. like there's certain mm-hmm. things you can tell.
Yeah.
But you know,
there's a Pittsburgh accent because I remember these twins I used to go to college with, and like it was like the way they said here or something. It was something about like how they said here, but they had a definite accent for Pittsburgh. And
there's a Midwest. Well, I can't even group it all together, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, where's Nelly from?
Nelly's from the Midwest. He's from St. Louis.
Okay, so yeah, there's definitely we can hear that in all his songs.
Yeah.
Underlay, mommy.
Yeah. Okay. All right, y'all. We're not gonna get derailed like this. Okay. Let's go back. Okay. So anyway, we were talking about. Okay, so I was recapping the show.
Texas is Louisiana, Kamisha. I can hear mm-hmm. that. I can hear all of that.
Exactly.
Because I thought you were from Louisiana. But then I was like, oh, mm-hmm. well, it's not a Louisiana accent. And then I was thinking South Carolina, but it was so much more distinct. Well, okay. That makes sense.
And I get you, Ma, because that's the I don't know the difference between all, you know, African dialects. So I can see what you're saying about Americans. I understand that comment right there. She said, well, I listen. She said, well, listen, I get offended when people think I'm Nigerian because I hate their accent. See, and I wouldn't be able to tell the difference like she would. So I get that. I get that.
That's true.
My favorite is Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? That baby, that got me right there. Baby. I used to love some C Murder, y'all. I used to love anyway, gosh. That's telling my age.
Monica over here.
Need to get back. We need to get back to the Ready to Love part. So
okay. So because we haven't gotten into the
because I got some stuff to say about Tony and Lyndon.
You know, and honestly, I like Tony. I think Tony's cool. Now, here's what I'll say just overall before we move on. Morgan loves it. Morgan is playing this game where she wants Tony's attention on her, and she's milking the Lyndon thing, but she's not really into Lyndon.
I don't think she's really into Lyndon.
Lyndon jumped out there because he is like you know, trying to pull his out too. Like, I'm a man.
That's why I feel like she shouldn't pick neither one of their asses.
But she wants Tony to come and get her.
But if the nigga ain't coming to get you, why do you want him to come to get you? Because they didn't show Tony go after her after he embarrassed her at the motherfucking table.
No, but Lyndon did.
But still, Lyndon should have known better because the cameras were fucking on.
Nah, Lyndon was cool though. All right,
no. So, okay, I get it. Okay, so for everybody watching, yes. But for Morgan, I was just like, that is fucked up. Can you imagine how long that conversation went on?
Oh wait, we missed a whole.
And how like embarrassing how embarrassed she probably was.
I could understand.
The cameras are on, and you're saying this, so you're bringing it to the table. But then on Tony's side, this is why they both got to get X'd out. You said that shit to a person who's after me.
Wait a minute. I object, Your Honor. Here's the thing. I guess I listen. I can see both sides. I do think it was probably embarrassing for Morgan to have to go through that because they're literally like, you know, saying these things. So first of all, it's embarrassing because she is not the like fruit of the joke. He's talking about, it's not a joke, but of the comment, he's talking about how he was he's basically trading her around. Like
he basically said, I would pick somebody else. You could have her if Marcy was here, which means I'll cast her out. She ain't shit if this person was here. That's how So if somebody says, okay, I mean,
it's real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the fact that if that's how you felt, that's how you felt. But you didn't come to tell me that. You didn't say that in front of everybody. You told somebody who's also after my attention.
Which is wild.
Which is dumb as fuck.
Why would you tell
me? So that's another reason why she can't pick him, because why are you picking a dumbass nigga? Who would say that?
That's why. Well, so, okay, here's the thing.
Simple math to me.
What the heart wants, what the heart wants. I can see why she's attracted to Tony, but I don't think she's attracted to Lyndon at all. And I think Lyndon was like fed up with it because he can see the dynamic between the two of them and how he's sort of like, he's playing with her. Tony's playing with Morgan.
I feel like Lyndon is just real chill and laid back, and he's going to get in a situation and just go with the flow. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and he's going to be like, this is what we're doing right now. I'm still here, so why not make fun of it? He is funny. He is funny. But Tony, on Tony's side, it's like, you said something. You knew you said that shit to him. Right, so only
he didn't think he was gonna bring it up because
why the fuck not?
Now listen, Your
Why
Honor,
not?
Let me.
So you don't know this dude. You don't know this bro. You gonna tell this bro something personal that you think about that person? Like I wouldn't. You could have her if I was. If she was
no,
here.
because listen,
like I would expect you to go back and run.
I think there is a such thing as like sort of like bro code. Now their opponent or whatever, or not opponents, but like they're both vying for the same woman's attention. So it was not wise. I would not counsel my client to do that. But at the same time, okay, here's what I'll give Tony credit for. He owned up to it. Like he said it, he owned up to it. And he didn't go to Morgan right away because Lyndon had that thing on lock. He let that cat right out the bag and let it on the table, let it walk around, and then he collected that
Lyndon
right back in that bag.
But Lyndon looks like somebody.
I'm so sorry you had to go through this. I didn't mean for this to happen.
That's that fucking manipulation
and
right there.
Like, wow.
That's it right there. That's it right there, though. It's like, I'm a watch. I see this dude. I know how he is. It was okay for me to hear what he was saying when he was saying it to me, but it wasn't important enough for me to come and say, hey, this dude told me that before I had to put it out in front of the world and the table. Like if you felt that way for real, you would have pulled me to the side and been like, this is what he told me. And then she would have been the one to say, Lyndon told me. Like she could have busted Tony out, but nigga, you don't care about me either, because why would you keep that secret?
Wait a minute.
You did it because y'all was pulling y'all dicks out. Yeah, well, I get it.
For sure.
But Lyndon used it to
his
advantage.
Doesn't look emotional. When he does,
but he does look like a dude that would fucking gossip. I'm gonna tell y'all. I believe dudes gossip more than women. They always say we gossip and we get together, we talk our shit, but dudes gossip a lot because they gossip with each other and then they pillow talk.
Hearsay, Your Honor.
It's a fucking fact.
Which really? Okay.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Wait a minute.
Tell me I'm wrong. All right, we're gonna pull up these comments in a little bit, but
let me just say this one thing.
Tell me I'm wrong. I'm right.
At the table scene, I really enjoyed Blake and Sue-Ann. And let me tell you.
Okay, well, tell me what you enjoyed about Blake and Sue-Ann.
Blake was like, whoa. Like he was trying to calm it down. Okay. And then when the thing went down, I couldn't tell if it was Sue-Ann's voice or if it was maybe Mercedes across the table or something, but whenever Tony, okay, so here's the thing. Tony had a bunch of Hennessy. That's another thing that I'll say. Listen, at this point, Tony's my client because I actually feel like I understand how he got there. Okay? I do. So anyway, he had a bunch of Hennessy and they're just at a resort and you don't have to go to work tomorrow. Like you're going to drink what you like to drink. So he's drinking all this Hennessy. And then in that regard, he kept his composure a little bit. Well, I bet in his mind, he thought he was being
what are you comparing this to? Because, he probably did. He probably did.
When Lyndon made the statement of like, didn't you tell me whatever? And then Tony waited a second from what the editing showed me. And then he was like, how do you feel that, or maybe it was before. I can't remember how it went down.
I feel like the last part that was said was when he dropped that bomb about Marcy, but he did ask about how you feel.
That was the first thing that happened. So when that first happened, Sue-Ann, I feel now this is her. They show her face, but I don't know if she said this. Somebody was like, "God damn!" and then when it got really uncomfortable,
because it's common sense that you don't do nothing like that
for sure. Then when it got really uncomfortable, Sue-Ann had this hilarious comment of like,
that's disrespectful.
She was like, objection, hearsay. Like, it was so funny the way the drink came out of her mouth because I feel like that's probably something that she's used to coming out of her mouth all the time, but it was like so well, like time.
Sidebar, she is working as far as the Shanquella Robinson case, y'all. So y'all got to check out Sue Ann Robinson because in real life she's actually an advocate for that. Advocate Sue, yes, she's the advocation is advocating. Okay,
I love
it. But okay, so back to your point, like okay, so for your client Tony,
yes, I'd like
wish
to
you well on that
on behalf of the court. That Tony is trying to keep his condescendingness, his cockiness in for the level of comfort of the rest of you people who are not on his level.
So that brings me to when he went to go finally talk to her, right? The way that they argue, the way that they argue, crazy. Like this, if this is a preview of how it's gonna look with this little bit with the cameras there, it was going to be crazy. Their arguments could be crazy if they're just by themselves because they both are like hotheads to a certain extent. He's definitely the hothead. But it switched. It switched. In the beginning, she was telling him while she was laughing hysterically about how she wanted to snatch his lips off his face and you need to stop being, nice to all these women. Like the roles literally switched when they got in the house. And he could, but he cannot take it because she wasn't threatening Marcy. Or not really, like, she wasn't aggressive to Marcy, but he decided to be aggressive to Lyndon. And Lyndon wasn't even aggressive to him, but you gave him ammunition. You gave him bullets to put in his gun. Like, what are you doing?
Okay, here's what I think. I think this is horrible.
You're gonna ruin your career
of a low level toxic relationship.
Yes,
and sometimes toxic relationships start at that low level, and it feels exciting, and then it just notches up a bit.
When it's good, it's probably bomb. But it's going to hit hell's floor.
I bet they're kind of like turned on by the chaos that's being created.
You can see in his face through the episodes that he liked. He was thinking it was cute. It's like, he was smiling and whatever. And I think they both like it, but he really liked it. And he liked how aggressive she was versus how, Marcy wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think she would have stood for that either. But I just we always be like, well, I'm going to give him one more chance, because this and this and this.
Yeah, she's definitely going to give him another chance.
I am the cutoff queen. You got one chance to get that shit right. And if you would, no. I act like I don't even, you're a ghost now.
She likes it. And that's where I'm saying where this is going.
And we got to check the comments too.
After this we're going to check the comments. She likes it because she is engaging with it. And she is telling him that, she doesn't know where things are going. And if you're going to act like this, then I don't know what's going to happen. Well, if you were really thinking that, then you would be saying, if you're going to act like this, then this is done.
She said some smart shit.
If you're going to act like this, then I don't know. Oh, I love that comment she made. Okay, we're going to get to that in 1 second. But I don't think that she's really, I did not like the way my client handled the situation of coming in. Here's what happened in that one scene where he finally went to go check on her. And this is an edited show. So we don't know the order, the status, the length of these conversations. But when he came into that room and finally had the conversation with Morgan, I'm talking about my client, Tony here. When he came into the room and finally had the conversation with her, somehow he turned it all on him as if he were the not even victim, but he was the object of if you act like that, then fine. It's like, wait a minute,
like him.
You came in here to console me with this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt and she wasn't positioned to check him on that, and so I feel like that was a little bit of toxic behavior.
But she did say, she said this, but I don't think she believed it when she said it. She might believe it now, but when she said what Cynthia told her that you need to watch how somebody treats you when they're mad at you, that is so true.
Oh,
I can be mad at you, but I'm not going to that was
gold.
Listen, I'm looking at your judgment as a woman. I want to see how you move when you do get mad. And if your go-to move is to go tell anybody that I would pick this person over this person if she wasn't there.
The worst person you can tell.
The worst person you can tell. I don't trust your judgment.
Who should I tell?
You could
know
you had all the other choices that he had to say.
The guy who likes who I like. That's who I'll tell.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy to me.
Objection, Your Honor. My client had a lot of Hennessy that weekend. I don't even know if it was a weekend. But let's
it was
just
one day
listen.
because nobody got cut. Somebody
Hennessy
go home in the morning.
clause. I'd like to exhibit A.
You
Your
playing
Honor.
the Hennessy card?
Hennessy
Okay.
card played. Okay, so let's go back up and watch the comments.
Yeah,
or,
we
like,
need to
read
get
the
into
comments.
y'all comments. Sorry, we just got into our conversation.
Wait, where were we?
Hold on real quick. Just in case that y'all, you know, haven't hold on, let me see. It's a lot of comments too. That's crazy.
It is. Okay, we got
Did
I
I
don't
put it
even
in there?
remember where we started because
No, I
where did
didn't.
we All right, guys, we're gonna get to your comments in 1 second.
Okay, here, you
No,
go.
go ahead, do what you're doing.
No, I couldn't find it.
Aww,
So, but anyway,
sorry.
I think we started. Ooh, On the Spot Live isn't here. Shout out to her. She's also I'm the Single One, as you know. That's our other channel as well. So hold on, let me see.
Because I still got to go back and talk about the leggings in the hot tub.
The leggings in the hot tub.
The leggings in the hot tub.
Oh my God.
You know what? Oh my God. I had to hit the right notes, guys.
Oh my God.
Because you know what? I don't know where that soundbite came from, but now I gotta put it on my. I gotta put it on my.
Let's start here because a lot of this is other stuff, whatever.
Yeah, we gotta talk about the leggings in the hot tub, and I also want to talk about Mark Anthony and Mercedes and why I think they're gonna work well. And I want to talk about poor judgment and things like this. Okay, so y'all gonna hate me. That's what we're starting. Yeah.
All right.
Y'all could hate me, but I'm so disappointed in the use of the N-word among beautiful, intelligent women to legitimize the word, specifically creators to creators. Why can't we say that word is corny? Listen, I completely sympathize with that viewpoint. I happen to hold a different viewpoint, so hopefully you can forgive me too. I'm disappointed as well because I use that word not often, but I do use it, and I use it joyfully. To be honest with you, like I'm just gonna say this is like real time. I'm so glad we don't hide comments. Yes, I don't hate you at all because your opinion is valid, and I appreciate.
You are free.
Let me tell you something.
Sorry,
I appreciate.
And I'll tell how I feel.
I appreciate comments like this because we're all out here living our own individual lives, and like I can understand why it offends some people. I completely do. It doesn't offend me, and I've taken the word and I've used it over almost my entire life just because it doesn't hold power over me. Like if I'm speaking for myself here, I can't speak for my sister, but I refuse to let words, whether made up by other people or not, like make me feel any sort of way. I feel like I'm empowered when I decide to be empowered. That word has power when I use it in a powerful way. But no one can use that word powerfully against me unless I accept that. So if anyone came up with the people who came up with that word to degrade a whole entire like section of people, it didn't work, nigga. Sorry.
Okay, so I don't hate you either. Like,
I'm sorry. I hope you don't take offense to that.
No, Donna D, you are free to share your opinion in here. You know what I mean? And we don't. Our intention is not to offend, but I know that it will slip out my mouth.
It will, and I'm not saying I'm not gonna stop saying it. I'm not gonna cut you off.
No, I don't plan on.
I'm not gonna stop saying it, and I'm not gonna intentionally say it to be provocative or whatever. But like, it's gonna come out of my mouth every now and then because I use the word. I use the word freely and without like I don't even feel inhibited using the word because I'm just, doing me. So I don't care who's around. I'm not censoring myself. Like I certainly don't want to be offensive, but if it's in my nature to use the word, I'm going to use it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think we overly use certain words, but anyway. This is not a PR tour.
I do pay attention to the fact that I'm not saying it every 2 minutes, but it does. Sure. It is a part of my vocabulary, it's a part of my vernacular, if you will. Sure. But we still love you, Donna D.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that comment. Like,
yes, share your feelings.
Everybody needs to be in here and say exactly what they feel.
Feedback is life. Okay. So Maud Afro Mama says, well, Morgan wants to get smashed by Tony, and Tony wants to smash that ass. So it's a win-win. They are both toxic, and they remind me of Swayze and Katie. And I don't think so.
Really?
I do not think so. And here's why. Because Swayze never, well, hold on. Let me think about it.
Hold up.
Swayze never embarrassed her like that and was told somebody something about her like that. Like,
but if the roles were reversed, I could see Katie as Tony.
I was about to say, but I don't think that Swayze was that high-headed, but he did get up and leave from that table that time. So I can see how you can make that. I can see how you can make that thing. But I think that's
I can see. You know what?
I think Morgan and Tony is more toxic.
A similar energy between them. It's just like
well, I don't look at Katie and Swayze as toxic though. I look at Morgan and Tony.
I think okay. So listen, I don't think I would name them toxic, but they have some toxic behaviors, and they're not trying to be. But like, here's what I know. I think there's this fiery attraction. Yeah, that is similar. That's similar,
but when you talk about toxic, I think we all could have pick something out of our life that's like, okay, we could consider this as toxic, maybe what I'm watching or what, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that if anybody was going to have a police called on them, it's going to be Tony and Morgan. It's not going to be Katie and his
Oh gosh, can I share this? Did I tell you this? I think I did tell you this. I had this weird vision. When I think of Tony and Morgan, I could just picture Tony in some weird parking lot, like with sirens and lights, red, white, and blue lights on him. Like, I can't believe this shit.
I mean, she was the one that did the Nair thing.
I don't know what that means, but I could just see this happening because they are really like pushing each other's buttons. That's what it really comes down to. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Tony was wrong for saying that Lyndon could have been Morgan as if she was a piece of property. Come on and preach. Lyndon was trying to capture some of his manhood back. I agree.
Absolutely agree with that.
I concur. And Lyndon is like a really laid back dude, but I did
Thank you, Kamisha.
I do feel that like Lyndon is a laid back dude, but he might have felt like, I don't know, I can't speak for his feelings, but it seemed like he was coming from a place of like, don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? Like, and he was just pulling out all the stops. I don't even think he meant to say that thing that he said. I don't think he planned on sharing that. But here's
the thing. He is the one that had the information. He knew that he told Lyndon that. So at the moment that shit, because we all have had moments where we might have said something that we spoke too much on.
For sure.
Or we might have, revealed that I don't know, like we have
sure,
we have had moments where we might have said too much, like I should have stopped talking
especially
here or whatever.
When you had a little
when you do that, all you gotta do is say, look, just like Ashley did on Love and Marriage DC, she said some shit on camera that she shouldn't have said on camera, and then she pulled the person aside and told them, I said this shit. Because and so the thing is, you don't want anybody else to come back and say
it, and you
because you already have the information that you know that you told them that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it was calculated to me on both parts. He knew the whole time that he said that to Lyndon, and Lyndon knew that he said it. And you wait until Mad Day, I would call it, when you mad at Tony to come out here and say it, and I got hit with a bullet because you're trying to get back at Tony. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that was some bitch ass shit.
I wouldn't count Morgan out as far as like knowing about things, because she didn't seem overly upset, and she didn't seem, it's possible that she may have known this statement was made beforehand, and she just, is using,
you know what? So she could have, and that could have been cut out. That could have happened, and it could have been cut out. You're right.
But I don't know that for sure either. I definitely would feel a certain way.
But let me say the whole point is, you still know this person sitting here with a. If she did know, this person could possibly say this, and then if they did say it, that should tell you about that person. Like, why would you still? Why would you say next week she kisses him
with me?
She kisses
him.
And
the thing is, I think that okay. So here's why. I'm not saying
you ain't kissing me if you don't say that shit.
I'm not saying that. That's not my.
But she don't got no other connections.
That's not the statement I'm making on the stand. That I think she already knew. So retract that from the record. What I'm saying is, it's possible that she already knew, and regardless of whether she already knew or not, she's still moving forward with Tony in a way where she didn't check the statement on camera. Perhaps it was edited out, but that doesn't seem to be her beef.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like she's more concerned with, other things. I don't know.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Got a question for you, sis.
Okay.
This is your client, Tony. Tony is her client, guys. Do you think your client slept with Morgan? I'll take that as a yes.
Listen,
It's like, no.
I think that they were intimate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they actually slept with each other, but if so, he probably slept with both women.
You think he slept with Marcia too?
Yeah.
Why would you think he slept with Marcia?
Because he seems to look. He seems to have claim over them both. That was his
only connection.
He seems to have claim over them both.
So you're saying if we consider Morgan got slept with, then we gotta consider that he could have slept with.
And he said right there, like Morgan was my day one from day one, or whatever however he said it. So if he slept with one, we would have to.
I will say,
sorry, I'm spinning you a little bit. We would have to.
It's like, no, I ain't even feeling.
Let the record show, in my Claire Huxtable, if we consider that he might have slept with Morgan, then we have to consider that he slept with. So whatever you do to one, you got to do the other. Okay. And I can't see that either of them are off limits.
Because you know what, I do have to say that this is totally about Tony and not Morgan. Tony does seem like the kind of dude who would be like thinking that he's him. Like,
yeah,
what I'm saying? Yeah,
that's what he thinks, guys.
I can see that.
Nothing against him. He just doesn't know. So, okay. Thank you so much, Kamisha. All right, so what's the? Did we do that one yet? I don't think so. Go back. Okay.
Why do I keep
you gotta get ready.
That?
You gotta get ready to get your life together.
It is not a touch
okay,
screen.
So
what am I doing?
Do you see how dudes talk about Joe Budden podcast?
They do.
Be in dramas.
They do.
Hello,
they do.
Dude, these guys be on some stuff. And I even felt like that about, may he rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. I felt like that whole, side, it's a very sensitive side that's being brought out in men. They're just dealing with it in a very barbaric way.
Men are more sensitive than us, but they will never admit it. Like you can, women crush souls every day. And the reason, and then when they do it, then they like, okay, when we burn our hand on the stove, we hurt, but we're going to go back
and we're going to figure it out.
And we're going to be willing to risk our hand to burn our hand again. Yeah. Guys could get burnt one good time and be like,
fuck this stove. This stove is wrong.
The stove is devil.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I feel like guys are more sensitive than us, but they will not admit it, and that's just part of their sensitivity. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that these were like, them trying to save their the whole act was them trying to save their egos or whatever. But to me, I wouldn't pick neither one of them.
I mean, if I were Morgan, I would pick. Morgan's not interested in Linda.
Because here's the thing. Why would I pick either one of y'all after I already see y'all like this when I can go out into the world and be single instead of being attached to one of y'all dumbasses?
The Holy Spirit saved me on that one. She picks the guy who makes her excited. That's what she's doing.
But my thing is, that's not all the guys out there. Like, yeah.
For sure, no. But that's the one that she's excited about.
But I don't know.
So that's just, and then we learn again.
Okay, so who actually started the whole we're playing for Morgan's honor? Was it Tony? It was Tony, because Lyndon, after he got beat, he didn't even want to go back in there and see him. He was like, he can really play pool. So funny. It was Tony that did it because he was mad that Lyndon was all up around Morgan. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're so sensitive, y'all. We gotta, when we find good ones, we gotta really, really do them well because they are very sensitive. You know what I'm saying? That's probably what you spend most of your time doing is like, cradling their like fragile egos.
Yeah. Oh wait, look at this one. Donna D says, according to Marcia, Blake is really courting Sue-Ann. Oh, he's buying her gifts. I'm assuming more than the jewelry he presented on her on the screen. I could see that.
That's interesting.
Blake. All right. So second take on Blake, because I did have to go back and assess what. And now I didn't go back and look at like the footage or whatever, but like I did have to go back and assess the quick judgments I came to on him earlier in the season, based off the fact that like I do remember like when I believe Jeffrey, I was like, why would Jeffrey have any reason to say this? And I didn't know anything about anything. It was like the beginning of the season. And I totally judge Blake. But he does seem, listen, I do hold certain opinions of him. I do. But, he does seem more sort of believable than I had suspected in the past.
I will say that he's consistent. Okay, he might be an asshole, but he's consistent. I did have to take a second look at him as well.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stand on what I said. Like, I feel like Sue-Ann was more serious about being pursued by him than he was about pursuing her on the show. He just seems like it's hard for him to let his guard down to like really be like that or whatever. So if he's doing that, then I'm willing to eat crow on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
he does seem
I'm
like
all about black
though.
love, and if he really is like that, like, because I looked at Sue-Ann's channel and she seems like she's cool. So if he really is doing that, then I'm gonna I gotta accept that, like,
for sure, and that's something to consider. I didn't know any of the backstory about him buying her gifts, but that's good to know because I could see him as the gentleman. I admire Sue-Ann for her work too.
Yes, shout out to Sue-Ann. Y'all gotta check her channel. She got a YouTube channel, Sue-Ann Robinson. So Donna D, she says that True Lover, Kalfani was a piece of work. He found a note on his door from his ex when he got home. Yeah, sure. I do remember that story. That was from the resort season where they all went to a resort. I think it was in Houston. But he was like one of the main ones.
Oh, so y'all gonna make me go back and watch this?
You didn't see? Oh, no. What season did you start
started watching in Potomac.
For real? Oh, listen, let me just tell you, you need to go back to season 1 because season 1 is the nut that we all trying to chase. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It was like
season 1 was so good. And season 3, which was the resort, those were really good because they were all in one place. And so it's not this whole, like, you go home and come back, like they're all there at the same time for whatever amount of time they were at the resort. I feel like that was more genuine because they got to see each other, when they wake up to come to breakfast, what they're doing around the house. I felt like that was a more of a genuine situation or whatever, but definitely go back and watch. I can't believe that you didn't watch the first season. What was I doing? I didn't tell you about that? What'd she say?
She said she's betwixt
and between as to whether she wants to say these. I like that. I'm betwixt and I'm betwixt in between as to whether I want Mercedes or Sue-Ann to stay. I want Sue-Ann to stay because I think Jeffrey should have been gone, and she would love to see Sue-Ann and Blake go. Yes, that is a fact.
All right, let me go back to Jeffrey. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so we're gonna go to this comment, but listen, because you gotta answer that because I didn't see this. But here's the thing. I think that Jeffrey's still there because obviously the men like her, and I wanted to touch on the leggings in them.
But I don't believe that her and Anthony make a good couple.
No. And I think she's probably seeing that.
The only person she should be with is out of the choices would be Andre. That's the only
Perhaps. But Andre seems like he needs a lot. Well, you know what? Maybe she's an attention giver. I think Andre needs a lot of attention, but I think maybe Jeffrey is an attention giver. But here's the thing. I think she does understand after this retreat point that Mark Anthony is not her guy. And I also feel like Mark Anthony understands that he's not really about this life of like taking on stepchildren. Yeah. I think he gets it. But I will say that, with her getting into the hot tub with the leggings on, like she said something about it, like it was embarrassing. Like, and I get it because I've had dates before where I was like, I'm not going to shave my legs because we're not getting past this point. Right. So I get it. That's the whole thing. It's just like, I'm never going to let somebody see my legs like this. So that's going to be my last moment of defense. You know what I'm saying? But it sucks when it didn't work anyway.
I mean, because the thing is,
now you look stupid.
Well, at least so listen.
She got in the hot tub
when they rode in on that boat, she had on a nice little, light blue selection. It was cute, but the boat got it dirty, so she had to change her clothes. But I don't know.
Oh, is that what happened?
I don't know. I just saw the dirt. I was like, okay, I hope she has some other stuff to put on, and she did. So shout out to Jeffrey for that. But I was just like, you're going on a getaway. It's going to be a pool in a hot tub. I'm gonna have a couple bathing suits on deck. Okay, y'all gonna think that I was there for 5 days because I every time you see me out in a different bathing suit or whatever. Now, what was the purpose? Because it's not like he was gonna fuck her right in there.
Well, she didn't want to get in that position. She didn't want to get anybody to get in betwixt.
So she gonna sit on the edge and be like, "Oh, you're so far away."
Yeah,
you knew his next response was gonna be, "Well, then come on in."
She was trying to hold herself back.
Well, then she shouldn't have been out there at the tub. She should have hollered at him when he was playing pool or something.
Well, I think she wanted to engage with him, but I don't think she trusted herself. And I think maybe that did work. Because maybe if they work closer, you know what I'm saying? Maybe there's something more.
Okay, yeah, I get.
That's what's happening.
It's
there.
harder to take off leggings than it is to slide.
Yeah,
okay, I got you. Okay, all right, Jeffrey. Okay, Jeffrey.
She slide. You got
Okay, Jeffrey. Okay,
right.
I can get down with that. Okay.
Yeah. So he says. You think Adriana was mature enough for Rashid? This is.
But see, you didn't see this episode. So no. Adriana, if I remember correctly, was a castmate that he met before outside of Ready to Love. He had already tried to talk to her, and she must have ghosted Rashid or something. Okay. But then after she had him, they started to spend time on the show. I think he was about to pick her. I don't think that would have been a good choice.
Goody! Look at what she said here. Tony was banking on Lyndon being too scared to say it. Lyndon was ready to go outside.
That's what I'm saying.
Was coming prepared.
Okay, listen.
He slept on Lyndon.
But here's the thing. How long do you think they had known each other at that point? How the fuck could you tell somebody that and think that they wouldn't? Like, you can't bet on the enemy. You can't bet on a stranger. Like, I fought Tony because he was the one that started the shit. Like, I would not ever think of saying anything like that to anybody that was in competition to me because I'm already thinking that you're going to try to hate at some point.
No, I think people get comfortable over time. And
that's a dumbass move.
As we can see, but I really truly feel like when that comment came out, it caught Tony off guard.
But that's something that I could see him saying if he was trying to play games and see, I'm going to tell somebody something and see if they go back. That way I know who said it. I can see that. But I can see that happening. But I can't see you actually telling somebody if this person wasn't here, you could have that person because that's like, I don't really fuck with her like that. I'm only picking her because this person's not here.
Okay,
let's break down the statement.
Again, Your Honor, I'd like to submit for my client that there was a lot of Hennessy consumed. And we don't know under what state of mind Tony submitted these statements.
Hey, James, the next time you want to stay out late, just drink a lot of Hennessy, bro.
Listen, you can just
come in on a pass.
On behalf of my client, there was a lot of Hennessy consumed, and who knows under what circumstances he revealed this. And I don't think it was wise for him.
It was not wise.
But I also think that he probably whatever setting he said in it, he might have said it around a bunch of dudes. He might have said it, you know what I mean? Like, but
all of them are after Morgan.
Think that
so this is my point.
Expected it to come out.
Why not?
Poor choices.
Okay, see, this is the thing that I'm saying.
Poor choices.
Poor choices, absolutely. Because if somebody wants the same job you have, are you going to go tell them what you said bad about the company?
No.
Why not?
Yeah, I get it.
Why won't you do that?
It was
just be transparent.
It was a poor circumstance.
It was very poor. Like, he could have told any of the other dudes. He could have told any of the other dudes.
Oh, wow, that's live. Okay.
He could have told any of the other dudes, but he told the person who was in direct competition with him. Like, that seems like you either trying to see if he's going to say it.
Yeah.
But he didn't. Maybe he was trying to see if he was going to go back and tell her, but he didn't think he was going to say that.
Nobody thought that would happen. Think about how. Okay.
I would think that was happening. If I would have said it, I'd have been like, God damn, this nigga could go back and say, sorry, Donna D. Everybody but Donna D. hear that. But because I said the word, the N word. Anyway, I would be thinking as soon as it came out of my mouth, I would be like, dang it, he's going to go back and tell her I said that. Why did I say that out loud? I was going to go tell her before he could tell her.
The audaciousness of someone to repeat the thing. I do.
You don't know this person. This is a stranger that you just met, and y'all trying to date the same girl.
Like, okay, if it came out of his mouth and he wasn't expecting to come out of his mouth, then you're thinking like, well, how would he even bring it up? That's not going to come back up. And again, I'm representing my client Tony, who understands that everyone around him is subpar to him. So he certainly didn't expect that someone would bring his words up against him.
Well, like I said, that goes back to judgment.
Objection.
That goes back to judgment. I can no longer even consider him as a prospect because he doesn't have good judgment.
Also, I'd like to let the record show that he's still in the running to become America's Next Top Model because Morgan is not giving up on him. And
she's not. We see that
and
next episode.
I feel like Marcy is in the balance too.
I don't think so. I think he let that go. No, Marcy's gone home. Remember, she went home.
But that doesn't mean they're not dating.
Nah. I would be so surprised if he ended up dating with Marcy because he looked like an asshole on there. If I was somebody like, if I was somebody, not Marcy though. I don't see Marcy doing that. If I was somebody like Marcy, I would be. Morgan would like that, I think, but she would because she's obviously looking over it. But I doubt it.
He's not even that. No, he's not. But I submit to the court that my client has some game, and he's keeping these women interested somehow.
Paying good,
so perhaps. But I think he just has swag. We'll strike that for the record, Your Honor.
He does. I will give him that. Tony does have swag. Something about those dudes from up north. Yeah, they got swag.
It is what it is. What Cynthia told Morgan was wise, wasn't it? Though I was like, dang, I wish somebody would have told me that. You must be mindful of how a man treats you when he is mad.
Absolutely.
For sure. And when I think about like the relationship that I'm in now, like, so my husband, it's so funny because I had never really, I don't say I never dealt with a person like him because that's not true. But like just the way that he operates, it's like logical. You know what I'm saying? And like when I think about like statements like what Cynthia made, like beware of a person, how they treat you when you're mad. And then I'll think like, well, how's my husband treating you when you're mad? And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that was the right choice. But I think about how other relationships that I had that were different than that. So it's like, wow, like that's a good piece of advice.
Listen, how you treat me when you're mad.
Look at how a man treats you when he's mad.
So
that's crazy. And that goes vice versa. Look at how a woman treats you when they mad.
Look at how
that's
a person.
A good piece of advice.
The key word is person, not man or woman. See how a person. Do they say the worst things they could say? Do they leave you hanging when you need something because they're mad? Think about that. Anyway,
heard. Okay, so now the next comment is from Donna D. Goody Gabor's intentions. I love Simone and Rashid together. I do too. I think Ariana was mature. Okay, so I didn't see that season. But Simone and Rashid have been together for so long, it will be hard to see Ariana and Rashid together.
Yeah, I thought Adriana and Rashid look good together, but I don't think that they made a good couple because now that I see him with Simone, that was the right choice. Because I kind of didn't want Rashid to go back and talk to her anyway after she had ghosted him outside of the show. Like, if you didn't try to talk to me, if you weren't trying to, entertain me outside the show, like, don't try to pay attention to me now. But I know he had to follow the process, but it worked out like it should have.
Okay. It reminds me of Maya Angelou's when somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Facts, Donna D. Sorry, y'all. We're just catching up on y'all comments.
Sorry, we're getting there, guys. Come on, stay tuned. Okay, so Donna D, I done added letters to the girl's name. This is Goody Gamora saying, if you recall, Denise was a hot prospect for what's-his-face, but Rashid was moving with intention towards whatever that means. And I bet that person's name is long as I don't know what, and she's making a joke. But here's the thing. So let me talk from my perspective because I'm just coming in. The first time I'm seeing whoever that was that she's referencing must have a really long and complicated name. I'm just meeting Rashid at the beginning of this season. So
you have to go back and watch
it. And I watched a couple of episodes of him and Simone on their show, which I love. And I think he's such a sensible man. And I love the fact that he reminds me of James in a way where he will, state his opinion very firmly and calmly and, respectfully and demand respect at the same time, but also check her. Yeah. Right, I love that about him. He's just like, let's be reasonable here. He'd be like, pause.
He'll say what he needs to say.
Like, I love him. I love Rashid. This is my first time seeing him ever, so I didn't see that season where he was dating other women. I only know him with Simone. So this is funny to me because I'm just like, who are these people that are talking about? Rashid and someone else? Like, it's so funny. Okay, so then. I just can't get with Kate Arnold's football head. Oh, she must be talking about. Who's she talking about? Andre?
Probably.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I can't remember. I don't know what we were talking about at that point because that was like 10 minutes ago. We were like really behind this comment.
Okay, so let's get Denise. Wild but beautiful. I don't know who Denise is.
What?
Crazy was stopped her.
Oh, Denise was the Aries that was on the resort season. You have to catch up. We're not going to listen, y'all. We're going to make her start. She's going to start an episode. Season 1.
Now we're catching up because somebody's saying like you missed the heyday. Oh,
sorry, that's me.
Okay, I'm not gonna. Okay, so right, Denise played herself.
Oh wait, let me mute.
She must have been taking lessons from. I love New York.
What the hell is going on?
So I was.
Oh no, we're not. What the
hell? Stream. So now
I just popped up there.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's quite all right. Everyone, listen. I'm an amateur. I missed the heyday for sure, Goody.